A loud announcement echoed in the training yard, signaling a momentary pause in the rigorous combat training. Sue, a determined trainee, informed everyone to take a break. A helpful figure offered the spirit fruit to help dispel their fatigue. Sue stood in the room, eager and hopeful, seeking permission from his teacher for something important. The teacher gave him the go-ahead. Sue stood resolutely, contemplating his next move as he prepared to leave the school for the wilderness zone. Sue, a determined trainee, asked about the duration of a trip to the wilderness zone. Moments later, the other character reassured him it would be about a month. The wilderness zone loomed ominously, filled with unpredictable dangers and ferocious beasts lurking in the shadows. Sue warned about the harsh realities of the wild. The elder advised Sue to run if he ran into danger during the journey. Moments later, the determined trainee thanked the teacher with a subtle smile. Sue handed an item to the eager young woman and asked which wilderness zone she planned to explore. Excitement buzzed in the air as the confident young man spoke to his teacher, reassuring him about the dangers of the wilderness zone. Magic radiated from a clenched hand, illuminating the air with a warm glow as Sue received a handy weapon prepared just for him. An older man revealed a glowing object to the dark-haired young man, who looked on in surprise. Sue sat on the bed, intrigued as he examined the strange weapon beside him. Sue sat determinedly, commanding EVA to open the school's mission system. Sue contemplated the glowing display of information, reflecting on the senior's advice about taking field missions before leaving school. Sue reviewed the task list, noting various missions like collecting beast materials and capturing fugitives. Frustration filled the air as a determined trainee expressed his concerns about the combat-heavy training model at the Magic City Supernatural University. A determined trainee pointed decisively at a list of tasks, expressing his belief that the best students were those who ventured out into the field. Sue prepared to leave the room, his determination evident as he announced the completion of preparations and the need to set off immediately. A bustling supply base teemed with energy, where excitement crackled like electricity in the air. Sue announced the start of exploration missions, eager for adventurers to join him. A black boot pressed firmly onto the crimson carpet, signaling a moment of impending tension. In a large, elegant room, a young man with dark hair observed the gathering with a pensive and watchful demeanor. A charming woman in a red dress welcomed a young man with dark hair with a friendly smile. A determined trainee held up his adventurer registration card, expressing a strong desire to register for the wilderness zone. A curious tension filled the air as a determined trainee received an ID card from a confident young man with dark hair. Sue presented the ID card, noting the rarity of her rank in the wilderness zone. The female character observed him with a mix of skepticism and intrigue. A determined young man with dark hair carried a large sword through a bustling crowd, his expression reflecting both purpose and burden. A group of students gazed in awe as a graceful figure entered, radiating an intense aura that captivated everyone. A confident and poised young woman led the group into the imposing building, her determination evident as they followed closely behind her. A lively discussion erupted among the group, filled with excitement about Goddess' upcoming filming in the wilderness zone. Sue eagerly commented on her immense popularity, noting her impressive follower count. Sue observed a woman and found her beauty rivaled that of song. Sue handed an adventure card and a satellite smartwatch to a grateful female character. Sue observed the couple talking near the pillar, his curiosity piqued by their animated conversation. A dense thicket loomed ahead, filled with shadows and the scent of damp earth. Sue asked if his younger brother was prepared for the wilderness zone. He offered pills for protection against the unknown dangers. Sue inquired about the prices, his curiosity evident as he looked toward an off-panel character. Sue confidently displayed his medication offerings, listing the prices for healing and antitoxin pills to potential buyers. Sue enthusiastically promoted his affordable pills, claiming their effectiveness while engaging the other characters' intrigued curiosity. Sue evaluated the suspiciously low price of a grade 1 pill, wondering if it indicated a scam preying on unsuspecting newcomers. A tense confrontation unfolded as Sue pointed accusingly, demanding to know how many newcomers had fallen victim to the scam. A tense standoff filled the air as Sue faced an unknown adversary, his confidence radiating despite the uncertainty. Sue confronted the unknown character, asking if he was trying to make him leave. The unknown character questioned Sue about his assumptions. Sue smirked confidently, mocking the challenger for being the first to attempt a con against him. Sue confronted, angrily accusing him of scamming newcomers again. Sue stood resolute, facing who remained unfazed despite the tension. Sue expressed his frustration, claiming was lucky this time. Sue smirked menacingly while warning an unseen target about the consequences of leaving the supply base during these dangerous days. In a stylish setting, a worried young man with dark hair speculated about the doomed fate of a targeted newbie against formidable reputation. A tense atmosphere filled the well-lit hall as a determined trainee received a stern warning. The female character cautioned Sue against leaving the supply base. Sue expressed gratitude for the reminder regarding Sue's ruthless reputation. He questioned whether anyone would stop from scamming others. A cautious atmosphere enveloped the group as the female character warned Sue about dangerous connections. Two women chatted animatedly, sharing thoughts about another woman's kind nature. Sue listened silently, observing the cheerful exchange with a neutral expression. A determined trainee walked away, focused on gathering supplies for the month ahead. A confident and engaging young man gestures to a female receptionist, his friendly demeanor setting a casual tone in the air. Sue searched through the bag, his focus unwavering as he sought something crucial for his upcoming challenges. A solemn atmosphere filled the building as a determined young man with dark hair walked through the hall, carrying a spear with purpose. A tense confrontation unfolded as an aggressive figure confronted a defiant young man with dark hair, demanding respect for the warnings ignored. A charged moment hung in the air as Sue faced a group, challenging their intentions. He questioned what they wanted to do. A threatening figure clenched his arm, vowing to take revenge on Sue by crippling him for life. A sense of urgency filled the air as one character pulled another away, expressing deep concern for a friend in trouble. Energy swirled around a determined young man as he unleashed a powerful force from his arm. Confidently boasted about his defenses, claiming his metallized skin and D-rank battle suit made him nearly invulnerable. A defiant young man with dark hair confronted an unseen opponent, his expression filled with determination. Sue threatened the opponent, demanding $1 million in compensation. A fierce energy surrounded a determined trainee as he prepared to unleash a powerful attack. Sue let out a confident laugh, signaling his readiness. A furious young man with dark hair struck his opponent, blood splattering across the ground as the intensity of the battle escalated. A fierce energy erupted as a determined and powerful man threw his opponent backward, sending debris flying in a dramatic explosion. A sudden noise pierced the air, leaving a young man with dark hair startled and alert. A confident young man with dark hair advanced towards a group, leaving a defeated opponent behind him. Sue exclaimed how terrifying his move was. Others expressed their surprise at his speed. They couldn't believe how strong he had become. A shocking scene unfolded as a young man with dark hair observed the aftermath of a brutal kick, leaving everyone around him in disbelief. A young man with dark hair listened intently as two characters discussed the impressive battle suit tied to Superpower University. A group of characters gathered, discussing whether to recruit a male for their team, questioned the squad's agreement about only having female members. A playful atmosphere enveloped the group as a female character teased a flustered young man with dark hair about his interest in a handsome newcomer. A determined trainee stood confidently at the entrance to the Wildlands, ready to face the challenges ahead. Sue confirmed entry to the Wildlands. A loud roar echoed through the dark forest, drawing the attention of a calm yet alert young man with dark hair. A loud cry pierced the air, signaling the presence of fourth-rank feral beasts nearby. Sue stood resolutely, focused on the swarming creatures around him. He noted that his target TMT among them. A calm and calculating young man with dark hair analyzed his surroundings, noting the division of the Yuan Wildlands into the ruined town and mountain forest. A holographic map illuminated in front of a strategic and analytical young man with dark hair, revealing the beast locations in N County Town. Sue pointed at the map, noting the presence of several second-rank feral beasts. A determined trainee with dark hair ran energetically towards N County Town, spear in hand, fueled by the thrill of his upcoming adventure. A determined trainee with dark hair ran forward, his focus unwavering as he moved towards an unknown destination filled with urgency. A shadowy figure loomed as Sue charged forward, creating a chaotic energy that crackled beneath his feet. A fierce creature lunged at a determined young man with dark hair, catching him off guard and sending a surge of alarm through his body. A mysterious object caught Sue's attention, raising his curiosity about its potential. Blue lightning crackled around a determined trainee who clutched his heart, overwhelmed by a surge of dark impulses. He felt an insatiable craving for violence growing stronger. Blue lightning surged around a determined trainee, illuminating his fierce expression as he prepared to unleash his power without any hesitation. Sue declared he no longer needed to hold back. A startled creature with distinctive markings reacted to an unexpected sound, its body tense and alert. A deserted street stretched before a curious and impatient man who felt frustration brewing within him. Sue asked the captain why they hadn't seen any feral beasts. A frustrated man with a beard questioned who he was supposed to ask about the missing feral beasts in N County Town. A fierce beast loomed menacingly over a group of startled characters, instilling a palpable sense of dread in the air. Sue stared at the beast, alarmed. A mysterious figure stood confidently, observing the surroundings, as if calculating the next move in an unfolding game. A determined leader commanded the group to attack the arm-blade tiger, urging them to work together for victory. A surge of intense purple energy erupted from a determined trainee, illuminating the chaos around him. A powerful shockwave erupted from a determined man, sending ripples through the air toward his targets. A powerful explosion of purple energy erupted from a central point, filling the air with fierce determination. Sue unleashed an explosive energy blast towards the unseen enemy. A flash of lightning illuminated the scene, leaving one man surprised while another observed intently. Sue questioned what had just happened, suspecting a new combat skill. A powerful aura radiated from a determined trainee, signaling urgency in the air. Sue raised his hand to emphasize the need for action. A wave of panic surged among the group as they realized the lightning-type figure had decimated the beasts. The bald man expressed fear, trembling at the power of the lightning spear. Sue urged everyone to flee quickly, warning that hesitation could provoke the strong figure. A surge of confidence filled the air as Sue displayed the powerful lightning spear, proud of his recent achievement. A confident young man with dark hair analyzed his stats on a glowing screen. He noted the rapid increase in ability points and skill levels. A commanding leader stood on the rooftop, issuing orders to his team about their next mission. Sue instructed everyone to pack up and return for resupply. Laughter erupted as a young man with dark hair humorously questioned if a tactical backpack could really carry the entire horned rhino's flesh and blood. A confident young man with dark hair showcased his reinforced tactical backpack, proud of its capacity to hold over 400 kilograms of beast materials. The vendor asked what materials Sue wanted to sell and pointed to the weighing plate nearby. A determined trainee revealed a creature from his bag, drawing curious glances from those around him. Sue presented the feral beast materials, showcasing their impressive weight to the astonished onlooker beside him. The other character reacted with disbelief at the sheer quantity. A rush of excitement filled the air as a young woman eagerly detailed the powerful essences she had discovered. The atmosphere buzzed with urgency as a woman explained the situation to a man about the excessive beast material quantity. She mentioned needing more help to count it. Sue stood, listening intently. A confident man with a commanding presence introduced himself as the procurement manager, Yi, while standing with two women behind him. A sense of accomplishment hung in the air as Sue shook hands with another figure. The man expressed admiration for Sue's talent at such a young age. He offered to arrange for people to inventory the beast materials. The man invited Sue to sit for a moment. A high-tech display flickered with data as a focused young man analyzed the beast blade information intently. An observant woman watched him closely, her curiosity piqued. Manager offered a platinum membership card, explaining it provided a discount on purchases. Sue accepted it gratefully, appreciating the gesture. The air was thick with anticipation as a professional and focused woman reported the collected materials to a determined trainee with dark hair. She listed the impressive quantities of materials gathered from beasts, questioning if he had wiped out an entire lair. Surprised, he absorbed the information, processing the implications of such a significant haul. A confident man in a suit proposed a rounded price for the beast materials, suggesting $25 million to manager. A sudden smile spread across a determined trainee's face as he checked his phone. Sue felt exhilarated after seeing the substantial deposit in his account. A polished business card glimmered in the light as a polite and considerate man offered it to manager. A confident young man stood proudly as an admirer gazed at him in awe. A phone rang sharply, cutting through the tense atmosphere. Sue reached for his phone, his alertness sharpening with each passing moment. A phone call interrupted the tension, and Sue appeared, curiosity etched on his face. He asked why he was being called. Sue urgently called manager, revealing that he had spotted the person who had hurt him returning to the supply base. Sue stood in the room, curiosity piqued, as he asked about the revenge plan concerning a certain upper first-rank guy. Sue sat in his wheelchair, fury radiating from him as he commanded the Tiger Shark Squad to ensure his enemy suffered beyond death. A tense deal hung in the air as Sue outlined the terms to the other character. He stated that the Tiger Shark Squad would be lent, severing ties afterward. Sue sat in an office, staring at his phone, feeling an unsettling sense of doubt about the upcoming challenge. A sudden sneeze broke the silence, momentarily startling a young man with dark hair standing outside. He felt surprised and slightly embarrassed after the unexpected outburst. A sudden curiosity sparked in a young man with dark hair as he pondered the implications of a recent remark. Sue questioned whether someone had spoken ill of him. Manager discussed a promising ability user named Sue, noting that his achievements surpassed what multiple teams had accomplished together. A light suddenly illuminated the space, causing a young man with dark hair to react with alarm. A man in a suit emphasized the importance of Sue to manager, insisting on immediate notification if he returned. A cautious young man with dark hair looked down at the laptop, recognizing the significance of the profile displayed before him. He considered the implications of another disciple's arrival. A bustling street filled with colorful stalls and lively chatter surrounded a determined trainee preparing for his next challenge. Sue observed the other characters as he walked down the street. He noted the extravagant space rings displayed, catching his curiosity about their worth. Sue, an eager and inquisitive young man, contemplated the convenience of space rings while walking with his companions. A phone rang repeatedly, cutting through the tension of the moment. Sue stood focused, feeling a wave of anxiety as he prepared to answer. Sue answered the phone, curious about the caller's intentions and when he would return to school. A determined young man with dark hair watched the approaching figures, his expression tense as he sensed the urgency of the situation. An authoritative figure ordered Sue to break a target's hands and feet, then bring the target back. Sue acknowledged the order resolutely. A new freshman had enrolled at the school, and one young man with dark hair listened intently to the gossip. A calm young man with dark hair stood to the side, speaking into the phone, seemingly unbothered by the world around him. A tense atmosphere filled the alley as a determined leader prepared his team for an impending confrontation. Sue ordered he to analyze the target's strength. Sue expressed doubt about the captain's cautiousness, questioning how much trouble a young first-rank kid could really cause. A concerned young man with dark hair asked if something was wrong, sensing a shift in the atmosphere. A confident young woman with hair shared information about psychic abilities and their auras with everyone present. A powerful aura enveloped the air, sending shockwaves through the surroundings. Sue couldn't believe the strength he sensed. It felt overwhelmingly intense. A sudden commotion erupted, leaving confusion hanging thick in the air. Sue gestured toward the fleeing figures, seeking understanding of their abrupt departure. A glowing sword shimmered in Sue's grip as he prepared to confront. He believed was plotting revenge against him. Next time they met, he planned to teach a lesson. A sudden impact sent Sue reeling backward, pain coursing through him. Confusion settled like a heavy fog as Sue lay on the ground, bewildered and injured. He demanded to know why he had been attacked. Frustration boiled over as a young man with dark hair revealed the target's true rank was far worse than expected, causing disbelief to ripple through the group. A surge of disbelief washed over a young man with dark hair as he touched his injured face. Sue couldn't comprehend how his rank had changed so drastically. In a tense parking area, a determined and assertive young man with dark hair declared the TM's end to his team, vowing to handle the challenge themselves. A tense confrontation unfolded in an office, where frustration hung in the air like a thick fog. Sue asked about the mission's status. The other man stated that the mission was terminated. Frustration crackled in the air as a determined trainee with dark hair revealed a serious miscalculation about their target's combat rank. Frustration pulsed through the air as a determined trainee with dark hair questioned strength, holding a beaded bracelet tightly in his grip. The air crackled with tension as a determined trainee with dark hair contemplated the target's identity while gripping a beaded necklace. He thought about the target's height and muscular build, uncertain of the name he needed. A wave of dread swept over a young man with dark hair as he realized a shocking truth. Sue's anger ignited as he confronted the unknown assailant, demanding to know who was behind the ambush on Sue. A man gestured with an apologetic smile, trying to diffuse the tension with manager's anger looming large. A confident young man with dark hair gestured towards a holographic display, presenting Sue's impressive records to the other character. A confident young man with dark hair revealed his achievements, detailing his status as a top scholar and his exceptional mentorship under the head of the Weapons Institute. An intense and determined young man with dark hair warned his companion about the serious implications of a master-level figure's actions against the supply base. A heavy silence filled the library as a concerned and compliant young man with dark hair bent forward, overwhelmed by the weight of unspoken expectations. He agreed to not make things difficult for the base. A tense atmosphere filled the room as Sue commanded his subordinates to bring in the struggling captive. The air crackled with tension as a desperate figure, battered and fearful, pleaded for mercy under the imposing gaze of Sue. An intimidating man in formal attire held another man by the head, delivering a menacing ultimatum about consequences for his actions. A bloodied figure lay on the ground, and a determined young man with dark hair stood over him, the tension in the air palpable. The tension escalated as a young man with dark hair pleaded desperately to a shadowed figure, seeking understanding in a moment of uncertainty. A tense confrontation unfolded as a young man with dark hair confronted the manager about years of gray dealings and a significant recent mistake. A tense atmosphere filled the office as Sue confronted manager about the need for accountability for everyone involved. A confident leader stood firm before 5 surrounding figures, asserting his dominance in an intimidating atmosphere. A group of important figures stood at the front, and a young man with dark hair observed them closely. A curious group gathered, discussing a young man from Superpower University, pointed out his presence, asking where he was. A confident young man with dark hair raised his weapon, ready to confront the unknown challenges ahead. A grand hall buzzed with anticipation as a young man with dark hair faced an authoritative figure, greeted Sue, expressing excitement about his return and his role as the base chief manager. Surprise filled the air as 2 characters reacted to the young man being greeted by the managers, questioning his true identity. A tense atmosphere enveloped the room as a calculating man in a suit delivered news of punishment to Sue. The man stated that had been justly punished. He added that the accomplices would spend their lives in prison. To make amends, their base offered reparations to Sue. A critical gaze fell upon the confident manager, who stood authoritatively, surrounded by 2 figures. Sue noted the ruthlessness behind her clean handling of affairs. A confident woman presented an elegant membership card in a velvet box, offering free lodging and a discount for future purchases. A confident woman revealed a 1 cubic meter space ring, surprising Sue with the extraordinary gift and leaving him shocked by the 1 cubic meter measurement. If you'd like to see your favorite titles retold, leave a comment and I'll be sure to pick some of them up from time to time. Also, let me know which video format you like more, long videos or short ones. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you again soon.